one of those no-necked monsters hit me with a hot buttered biscuit, so I have to change.
What'd you say, Maggie? Water was on so loud I couldn't hear you.
Well, I just remarked that one of those no-neck monsters messed up my lovely lace dress, so I have to change.
Why'd you call Goopa's kiddies no-neck monsters?
Because they've got no necks. Isn't that a good enough reason?
Don't they have any necks?
None visible. Their fat little heads are set on their fat little bodies without a bit of connection.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad because you can't wring their necks if they've got no necks to wring. Isn't that right, honey? Yeah, they're no-neck monsters. All no-neck people are monsters. Hear them? Hear them screaming. You know, I don't know where their voice boxes are located if they don't have necks. I tell you, I got so nervous at the table tonight, I thought I would throw back my head and utter a scream you could hear across Arkansas and parts of Louisiana and Tennessee. I said to your charming sister-in-law, May, honey, why don't you feed those precious little things at a separate table with an oilcloth cover? They make such a mess and the lace cloth looks so pretty. Oh, she made enormous eyes at me and said, on Big Daddy's birthday, why, he would never forgive me. Oh, I want you to know Big Daddy wasn't at the table for 2 minutes with those no-neck monsters slobbering and drooling all over their food. When he threw down his fork and shouted, for God's sakes, Goopa, why don't you put those pigs at a trough in the kitchen? I swear, I simply could have died. Oh, think of it, Brick. They got 3 of them and number 4 is coming. What? They brought the whole bunch down here like animals to display at a county fair. Why, they got those children doing tricks all the time. Dixie, show Big Daddy how you do this. Show Big Daddy how you do that. Say your little piece for Big Daddy. Show your dimple, sugar. Brother, show Big Daddy how you stand on your head. It goes on all the time, along with constant remarks and innuendos about the fact that you and I have not produced children, are totally childless, and therefore totally useless. Of course, it's comical, but it's also completely disgusting since it's so obvious what they're up to.
What are they up to, Maggie?
Well, you know what they're up to.
No, I don't know what they're up to.
I will tell you what they're up to, boy of mine. They're up to cutting you out of your father's estate. Now that we know that Big Daddy's dying of cancer...
Do we?
Do we what?
No, Big Daddy's dying of cancer.
Got the report today.
Oh.
Yep. Got the report just now. It didn't surprise me, baby. I recognized the symptoms soon as we got here last spring. And I'm willing to bet Brother Man and Brother Man's wife were pretty sure of it, too. That more than likely explains why their usual summer migration to the coolness of the Great Smokies was passed up this summer in favor of hustling down here every whip stitch of the whole screaming tribe. And why so many allusions have been made to Rainbow Hill lately. You know what Rainbow Hill is? Place that's famous for treating alcoholics and dope fiends in the movies.
Well, I'm not in the movies.
No. And you don't take dope, otherwise you're a perfect candidate for Rainbow Hill, and that is where they aim to ship you. Over my dead body. Yep, over my dead body they'll ship you there. Oh, but nothing leaves them better. And then Brother Man could get a hold of the purse strings and dole out remittances to us. Maybe get power of attorney and sign our checks or cut off our credit wherever, whenever he wanted. Son of a bitch. How'd you like that, baby? Well, you have been doing just about everything you can think of to help them. Yep, you have been doing just about everything in your power to aid and abet them in this scheme of theirs. Quitting work, devoting yourself to the occupation of drinking, breaking your ankle last night. Doing what? Jumping hurdles on the high school athletic field at 2 or 3 in the morning? Just fantastic! Got yourself in the paper. Clarksdale Register carried a nice little item about it. Human interest story about a well-known former athlete staging a one-man track meet on the glorious hill high school athletic field, but was slightly out of condition and couldn't clear the first hurdle. Brother Mangupa claims he exercised his influence to keep it from going out over the AP or the UP or every goddamn P. But Brick, you still have one big advantage.
Did you say something, Maggot?
Big Daddy dotes on you, and he can't stand Brother Man and Brother Man's wife, that monster of fertility May. You know how I know? Constant little expressions that flicker over his face when she's holding forth on one of her choice topics, such as how she refused twilight sleep when the twins were delivered because she feels motherhood's an experience a woman ought to experience fully in order to fully appreciate the beauty and the wonder of it. Ha! And how she made Brother Man come into the delivery room and stand beside her so he would not miss out on the beauty and the wonder of it, producing those no-neck monsters. Big Daddy shares my attitude toward those two. And as for me, well, I'll give him a laugh now and then, and he tolerates me. In fact, I sometimes suspect Big Daddy carries an unconscious little lech for me.
What makes you think Big Daddy has a lech for you, Maggot?
Way he drops his eyes down my body when I'm talking to him, drops his eyes down to my boobs and licks his old chops.
That kind of talk is disgusting.
Did anyone ever tell you you are an ass-ache and Puritan, Brick? I think it's mighty fine the way that old fella on the doorstep of death takes in my shape with what I think is deserved appreciation. And you want to know something else? Big Daddy didn't even know how many amazing Goopas had been produced. How many kids you got? He asked at the table as if Brother Man and his wife were new acquaintances to him. Well, Big Mama said he was joking, but he wasn't joking, Lord, no. And when they informed him that they had 3 and were turning out number 4, why, the news seemed to come as an unpleasant surprise. Oh, scream monsters. Yeah, you should have been at the supper table, baby. You know, Big Daddy, bless his old sweet soul, he is the dearest old thing in the world, but he does hunch over his food as if he preferred not to notice anything else. Well, May and Goopa were side by side at the table, directly across from Big Daddy, watching his face like hawks while they jawed and jabbered over the cuteness and brilliance of those no-neck monsters. And the no-neck monsters, they were all ranged around the table, some on high chairs, some on the books of knowledge, all with fancy little paper caps in honor of Big Daddy's birthday. And all throughout dinner, Brother Man and his partner never once, for one moment, stopped exchanging pokes and pinches and kicks and signs and signals, while they were like a couple of card sharks fleecing a sucker. Even Big Mama, bless her old sweet soul, she isn't the brightest or quickest thing in the world. She finally noticed at last and said to Goopa, "Goopa, what are you and May doing making all these signs at each other for?" I swear to goodness, I nearly choked on my chicken. Oh, you know, your brother Goopa still cherishes the illusion he took a giant step up the social ladder when he married Miss May Flynn of the Memphis Flynns. But do I have a piece of Spanish news for Goopa? The Flynns never had a thing but money, and they lost that. Oh, they were nothing but fairly successful climbers. Of course, May Flynn came out in Memphis 8 years before I made my debut in Nashville, but I had friends at Ward Belmont from Memphis, and they used to come to see me, and I used to go to see them at Christmas and spring vacation, so I know who rates and who doesn't rate in Memphis society. While old Papa Flynn barely escaped doing time in the federal pen for shady manipulations on the stock market when his chain stores crashed. And as for May, having been the Cotton Carnival Queen, as they remind us so often lest we forget, that is one honor I do not envy her for. Sit on a brass throne on a tacky float and just ride down Main Street, smiling, bowing, and blowing kisses to all the trash on the street. Why, year before last, when Susan McFeeters was singled out for the honor, you want to know what happened to her? You want to know what happened to poor little Susie McFeeters?
No, what happened to little Susie McFeeters?
Somebody spit tobacco juice in her face!
Somebody spit tobacco juice in her face.
That's right. Some old drunk leaned out a window of the Hotel Gayoso and shouted, "Hey, Queen! Hey there, Queenie!" Susie looked up and flashed him a radiant smile. And he shot out a squirt of tobacco juice right in poor Susie's face!
Well, what do you know about that?
What do I know about it? I was there. I saw it.
Must have been kind of funny.
Susie didn't think so. Oh, had hysterics. Screamed like a banshee. Why, they had to stop the parade and remove her from her throne and go on with... Why are you looking at me like that?
Like what, Maggie?
The way you were looking just now before I caught your eye in the mirror and you started to whistle. I don't know how to describe it, but it froze my blood. I caught you looking at me like that so often lately. What are you thinking when you look at me like that?
I wasn't conscious of looking at you, Maggie.
I was conscious of it. What were you thinking?
I don't remember thinking of anything, Maggie.
Don't you think I know that... Don't you think I know that...
Know what, Maggie?
That I have gone through this hideous transformation. Become hard, frantic, cruel. That's what you've been observing in me. How can you help but observe it in me? Well, that's all right. I'm not thin-skinned anymore. Can't afford to be thin-skinned anymore. But Brick,
Did you say something?
I was going to say something. That I get lonely. Very.
Everybody gets that.
Living with someone you love can be lonelier than living entirely alone. If the one you love doesn't love you.
Would you like to live alone, Maggie?
Oh! God, I wouldn't! Did you have a nice shower?
Uh-huh.
Was the water cool?
No.
But it made you feel fresh.
Fresher?
I know something that would make you feel much fresher.
What?
An alcohol rub. Oh, cologne. A rub with cologne.
That's good after a workout, Maggie, but I haven't been working out.
But you've kept in shape, though.
You think so, Maggie?
I always thought drinking men lost their looks. I was plainly mistaken.
Why, thanks, Maggie.
Why, you're the only drinking man I know. It never seems to put any fat on.
I'm getting softer, Maggie.
Well, it's bound to soften you up sooner or later. It was just beginning to soften up Skipper when... I'm sorry. I never could keep my fingers off a saw. I wish you would lose your looks. If you did, it would make the martyrdom of St. Maggie a little bit more bearable, but no such goddamn luck. You know, I think you've actually gotten better looking since you've gone on the bottle. A person who didn't know you would think you'd never had a tense nerve in your body or strained muscle. Of course, you always had that detached quality about you, as if you were playing a game without much concern over whether you won or lost, and now that you lost, not lost, just quit playing. You have that rare sort of charm that only comes from the very old or hopelessly ill people. Charm of the defeated. You look so cool, so enviably cool.
Now look here, boy. Let me show you how to get out of that.
They're playing croquet. Oh, the moon has appeared and it's white, just beginning to turn yellow. You were a wonderful lover. Such a wonderful person to go to bed with, and I think mostly because you were really indifferent to it. Isn't that right, honey? Never had any anxiety about it, did it naturally, easily. Oh, slowly. With absolute confidence and perfect calm. More like opening a door for a lady, sitting at a table than giving expression to any longing for her. Your indifference is what made you wonderful at lovemaking. Strange, but true.
Oh, that's a beauty. Yeah, I got you boxed.
You know, if I thought you would never make love to me again, I would go downstairs to the kitchen and I would pick out the longest and sharpest knife that I could find and I would stick it straight into my heart. I swear that I would.
Watch out, you're gonna miss it.
You just don't know me, boy.
But one thing I do not have is the charm of the defeated. My hat is still in the ring and I am determined to win.
You're too slippery for me.
Just like an eel, boy, just like an eel.
Later tonight, I'm going to tell you I love you. And maybe by that time you'll be drunk enough to believe me. Yep. They're playing croquet. Big Daddy's dying of cancer. What were you thinking about just now when I caught you looking at me like that? Were you thinking of Skipper? Oh, excuse me, forgive me, but laws of silence don't work. No, laws of silence don't work when something is festering in your memory or your imagination. Laws of silence don't work. It's just like shutting a door and locking it on a house on fire and hope of forgetting the house is burning, but not facing a fire doesn't put it out. Silence about a thing, it magnifies it. It grows and festers in silence, becomes malignant.
Give me my crutch.
Lean on me.
No, just give me my crutch.
Lean on my shoulder.
I don't want to lean on your shoulder. I want my crutch. Now you're going to give it to me.
Here,
take
it.
Thank you.
We mustn't scream at each other. The walls in this house have ears. But that was the first time I heard you raise your voice in a long time. A crack in the wall of composure? I think that's a good sign. A sign of nerves and a player on the defensive.
It just hasn't happened yet, Maggie.
What?
The click I get in my head when I've had enough of this stuff to make me peaceful. Will you do me a favor?
Maybe I will. What favor?
Just keep your voice down.
I'll do you a favor. I'll speak in a whisper, if not shut up completely, if you will do me a favor and make that your last drink until after the party.
What party?
Big Daddy's birthday party.
Is this Big Daddy's birthday?
You know this is Big Daddy's birthday.
No, I don't. I forgot it.
Well, I remembered it for you.
Good for you, Maggie.
You just have to scribble a few lines down on this card.
You scribble something, Maggie.
It's got to be your handwriting. It's your present. I've given him a present. It's got to be your handwriting.
I didn't get him a present.
Well, I got one for you.
All right, then. You write the card, then.
And have Big Daddy know you didn't remember his birthday.
I didn't remember his birthday.
You don't have to prove you didn't.
I don't want to fool him about it.
Just write love, Brick.
No!
You've got to.
I do not have to do anything I don't want to do. And you keep forgetting the conditions on which I agree to stay on living with you.
I'm not living with you. We occupy the same cage.
You have got to remember the conditions agreed on.
Mommy! Bear with me!
They're impossible conditions.
Then why don't you...
Who's out there? Somebody at the door?
May I enter a moment?
Oh, you. Sure, come on in, May.
Brick, is this thing yours?
Oh, sister woman, that's my Diana trophy. I won it at the intercollegiate archery contest on the Ole Miss campus.
It's a mighty dangerous thing to leave around a house exposed to normal, red-blooded children attracted to weapons.
Normal red-blooded children attracted to weapons ought to be taught to keep their hands off things that don't belong to them.
Oh, Maggie, you'd know how funny that is if you had children of your own. Will you please lock this thing up and put the key out of reach?
Sister woman, nobody's plotting the destruction of your kitties. Brick and I have our special archer's license. We're going deer hunting on Moon Lake as soon as the season starts. Oh, I love to run with dogs through chilly woods. Run.
Brick has an injured ankle.
What?
Oh, Brick, you should have been downstairs after supper. The kiddies put on a show. Polly played the piano and Sunday the drums. Then they turned off all the lights and Dixie performed a toe dance number in a fairy costume with sparklers. Oh, Big Daddy just beats. Oh, he just beats.
Oh, I bet. I'm so sorry we missed it. But sister woman, why'd you give dogs names to all your kitties?
Dogs' names?
Dixie, Sunny, Polly. Sounds like two dogs and a parrot.
Maggie, why are you so catty?
Because I'm a cat. But sister woman, why can't you take a joke?
Nothing pleases me more than a joke that is funny. Besides, you know the real name of our kitties. Sunny's real name is Saunders. Polly's real name is Marlene. And Dixie's...
Hey, sister woman, intermission is over.
Intermission is over. See you later.
I wonder what Dixie's real name is.
Maggie being catty doesn't help things any one bit at all.
I know. Why am I so catty? Because I'm consumed with envy and eaten up with longing? Brick, I'm going to lay out your beautiful shantung silk suit from Rome and one of your monogram silk shirts. I'll put the cufflinks in. Oh, those lovely star sapphires I get you to wear.
I
so
can't
rarely.
get trousers on over this plastic cast, Maggie.
Yes, you can. I'll help you.
I'm not gonna get dressed, Maggie.
Will you at least put on a pair of silk pajamas?
Yes, I will do that, Maggie.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Don't mention.
Rick, how long does this have to go on, this punishment? Haven't I done time enough? Haven't I served my term? Can't I apply for a pardon?
Maggie, you are spoiling my liquor.
Lately, your voice sounds like you've been running upstairs all the time to warn somebody the house was on fire.
Well, no wonder, no wonder. You know what I feel like, Brick? I feel all the time like a cat on a hot tin roof.
Then jump off the roof. Jump off it. Cats can jump off of roofs and land on their 4 feet uninjured.
Oh, yes.
Just do it, for God's sake. Do it.
Do what?
Take a lover.
I can't see any man but you. Even with my eyes closed, I just see you. Why don't you get ugly, Brick? Why don't you get fat or ugly or something so I could stand it?
What'd you lock the door for, Maggie?
To give us a little privacy for a while.
You know better, Maggie.
No, I do not know better.
Don't make a fool of yourself.
I don't mind making a fool of myself over you.
I mind. I feel embarrassed for you, Maggie.
I feel embarrassed, but don't continue my torture. I can't live on under these
You
circumstances.
agreed to
I
accept
know, but
that
I can't.
condition.
I can't.
Let go.
Son!
What is it, Big Mama?
Oh, son, we just got the most wonderful news about Big Daddy and had to run right up and tell... What's this door doing locked for? Y'all think they'll rob us in the house?
Oh, Big Mama, Brick's dressing. He's not dressed yet.
Well, that's all right. It won't be the first time I've seen Brick not dressed. Now, come on, open this door.
Big Mama?
Here I come through the gallery doors. Now, where's Brick? Oh, Brick! Hurry on out of there. I only have a second, and I want to give you the news about Big Daddy. I hate locked doors in a house.
I've noticed you do, Big Mama, but people have got to have some moments of privacy, don't they?
No, ma'am. Not in my house. What you took off your little lace dress for? You look so sweet in it, honey.
Oh, I thought it looked sweet on me, too, but one of them cute little table partners used it for a napkin,
What?
so... Oh, well, you know, Big Mama, May and Gooper's just so touchy about those kids. Thanks, Big Mama. That you don't dare suggest there's any room for improvement in there.
Son! Now hurry on out of there! Now, shoot, Maggie, you just don't like children.
No, I do so like children, adore them. Well brought up.
Well, why don't you have some and bring them up well then, instead of all the time picking on Goopers and Mays?
Betsy and Hugh gotta go. Waiting to tell you goodbye.
Tell those people to hold their horses. I'll be right down in a jiffy.
Yes, ma'am.
Son, can you hear me in there? We just got the report from the laboratory at the Oxner Clinic. Completely negative, son. Everything negative, right on down the line. Why, there is nothing at all wrong with that man but a little functional thing called a spastic colon. Son, can you hear me in there?
He can hear you, Big Mama.
Well, then why don't he say something? God almighty, a little piece of news like that ought to make him shout. Made me shout, I can tell you. I shouted and sobbed and fell right down on my knees. Look, see the bruises where I hit my kneecaps? Took both doctors to haul me back up on my feet. Big Daddy was furious with me. But ain't that just wonderful news? Oh, after all the anxiety we've been through to get a report like that on Big Daddy's birthday. Oh, now, Big Daddy tried to hide how much of a load that news took off his mind, but he didn't fool me. He was mighty close to crying himself. Hold those people on down there. Don't let them go. Now, get dressed. We're all coming up to this room for Big Daddy's birthday party because of your ankle. How is his ankle, Maggie?
Well, he broke it, Big Mama.
Well, I know he broke it.
Mr. Paula's right there.
I mean, does it hurt him much still?
Oh, I'm afraid I can't give you that information. You'll have to ask Brick whether it hurts him much still or not.
It's Memphis, Miss Polly. It's Miss Sally in Memphis.
All right, Lacey. Thank you, Lacey. Hello, Miss Sally. How are you, Miss Sally? Yes, I was just about ready to call you when... Oh, shoot. Miss Sally, don't you ever call me from the Hotel Gaioso lobby. There's too much talk goes on in that hotel lobby. Why, it's no wonder you can't hear me. Now listen, Miss Sally. There is nothing serious wrong with Big Daddy. We just got the report. There is nothing wrong with him but a thing called a spastic colon. Maggie, come on out here and talk to this fool on the phone. I am shouted breathless.
Miss Sally, this is Brick's wife, Maggie. Oh, so nice to hear your voice. Can you hear mine? Well, good. Big Mama just wanted you to know that they got the report from the Oxner Clinic, and what Big Daddy has is a spastic colon. Yes, a spastic colon. That's right, Miss Sally, spastic colon. Oh, goodbye. I hope to talk to you again real soon. She heard me just fine.
Miss Sally sure is a case.
Big Mama, come on now. Betsy and you can't wait no longer.
I'm coming! Oh, shoot, Maggie, stop playing so dumb. I mean, has Brick been drinking that stuff much yet?
I think he had a highball after supper.
Well, don't laugh about it. Some single men stop drinking when they get married. Others start. Brick never touched liquor
That's not
before.
fair.
Well, fair or not fair, I want to ask you a question. One question. Do you make Brick happy in bed?
Why don't you ask if he makes me happy in bed?
because
It works both ways.
Something's not right. You're childless and my son drinks.
Come on, Big Mama.
When a marriage goes on the rocks are there. Right there.
That's not fair. Who are you? I am Maggie the cat.
Has Big Mama gone?
She's gone. You know, our sex life didn't just peter out in the usual way. It was cut off short, long before the natural time for it to. But it's going to revive again just as sudden, I am certain of it. That's what I'm keeping myself attractive for. For the time when you'll see me like other men see me. Yes, like other men see me. And they still see me, Brick. And they like what they see. Some of them would give their... Look, Brick, how high my body stays on me. Nothing has fallen, not a fraction. Other men still want me. My face looks strange sometimes, but I've kept my figure as well as you've kept yours, and men admire it. Why, I still turn heads on the street. Just last week in Memphis, everywhere that I went, men's eyes burned holes in my clothes. At the country club, in restaurants and department stores, there wasn't a man I met or walked by that didn't just eat me up with his eyes and turn around when I passed by him and look back at me. Why, at Alice's party for her New York cousin, the best-looking man in the crowd followed me upstairs to the powder room and tried to force his way in with me. Followed me to the door and tried to force his way in.
Why didn't you let him, Maggie?
Because I'm not that common, for one thing. Not that I wasn't almost tempted to. You want to know who it was? It was Sonny Boy Maxwell,
Sonny
that's
Boy
who.
Maxwell. He's a good end runner, but had a little injury to his back, had to quit.
Well, he has no injury now, no wife, and he still has a lech for me.
I see no reason to lock him out of a powder room in that case.
And have someone catch me at it. I'm not that stupid. Oh, I might sometime cheat on you with someone since you're so insultingly eager to have me do it. But if I do, you can be damn sure it will be at a place and a time when no one but me and the man could possibly know. Because I am not giving you an excuse to divorce me for being unfaithful or anything else.
I wouldn't divorce you for being unfaithful or anything else, Maggie. Don't you know that? Hell, I'd be relieved to know you found yourself a lover.
Well, I am taking no chances. Nope. I'd rather stay up here on this hot tin roof.
Hot tin roof's an uncomfortable place to stay on.
Yeah, but I can stay on it just as long as I have
You
to.
could leave me, Maggie.
Don't want to and will not. Besides, if I did, you don't have a cent to pay for it but what you get from Big Daddy, and he's dying of cancer.
Big Mama just said that he wasn't, that report said he was okay.
Well, that's what she thinks because she got the same story they gave Big Daddy. I was just as taken in by it as he was, poor old things. But tonight, they are going to tell her the truth about it. When Big Daddy goes to bed, they are going to tell her he is dying of cancer. It's malignant and terminal.
Does Big Daddy know it?
Hell, do they ever know? Nobody says you're dying. You have to fool them. They have to fool themselves.
Why?
What? Because human beings dream of life everlasting. That's the reason. But most of them want it on earth and not in heaven. So, this is Big Daddy's last birthday. And do you know something, Brick? Big Daddy made no will. Big Daddy never made any will in his life, and that is why May and Goopa have launched their campaign to impress him as forcibly as they can with the fact that you drink and I have borne no children. You know, I am fond of Big Daddy. I am genuinely fond of that old man. I really am,
Yes,
you know.
I know you are, Maggie.
I have always admired him in spite of his coarseness, his four-letter words and so forth, because Big Daddy is what he is. And he makes no bones about it. Oh, he hasn't turned gentleman farmer. He is still a Mississippi redneck. As much a redneck as he must have been when he was still overseer here on the old Peter Acella in Jack's straw place. But Big Daddy took hold of it, and he built it into the biggest and the finest plantation in the Delta. I have always liked Big Daddy. Well, this is Big Daddy's last birthday, and I'm sorry about it. I really am, but I'm facing the facts. It takes money to take care of a drinker, and that's the office I have been elected to lately.
You don't have to take care of me, Maggie.
Yes, I do. Two people in the same boat have got to take care of each other. At least you want more money to buy Echo Spring when this supply is exhausted. Or will you be satisfied with a 10-cent beer? Because May and Goopa are planning to freeze us out of Big Daddy's estate because you drink and I'm childless. But we can defeat that plan. We are going to defeat that plan. You know, Brick, I have been so goddamn disgustingly poor all my life, and that's the truth, Brick.
I'm not saying it isn't.
Always had to suck up to people I couldn't stand because they had money, and I was poor as Job's turkey. You don't know what that's like, Brick. Well, I will tell you what that's like. It's like how you would feel 1,000 miles from Echo Spring and had to get back to it on that broken ankle without a crutch. That's how it feels to be poor as Job's turkey and to have to suck up to people you hated because they had money and all you had was some old hand-me-down clothes and a few old moldy 3% government bonds. You know, my daddy, he loved his liquor. He loved his liquor like you have fallen in love with Echo Spring. And my poor mama having to maintain some semblance of social position to keep appearances up on an income of $150 a month on those old government bonds. Oh, when I came out, the year I made my debut, I had just 2 evening gowns. One, my mother made for me from a pattern in Vogue. The other, a hand-me-down from a snotty rich cousin I hated. The dress I married you in was my grandmother's wedding gown. You can be young without money, but you can't be old without money. You have got to be old with money, because to be old without it is just too awful. You have got to be one or the other, either young or with money. You can't be old and without it, and that is the truth, Brick. Well, I am dressed, all dressed. There's nothing else for me to do. I am dressed, all dressed. Nothing else for me to do. You know, I've thought a whole lot about it, and now I know when I made my mistake. Yes, I made my mistake when I told you the truth about that thing with Skipper. I never should have confessed it. A fatal error, telling you the truth about that thing with Skipper.
Maggie, shut up about Skipper. I mean it, Maggie. You have got to shut up about Skipper.
Rick, you've got to understand. Skipper
You don't
and
think I'm serious, Maggie? You fooled by the fact I'm saying this quiet? What you are doing is a dangerous thing to do. You are fooling with something nobody ought to fool with.
This time I'm going to finish what I have to say to you. Skipper and I made love, if love you could call it, so that we could both feel closer to you. Oh. You see? You son of a bitch. You ask too goddamn much of people, of me, of Skipper, of all the poor, unlucky sons of bitches who happen to love you. Oh, and there was a whole pack of them. Yes, there was a whole pack of them besides me and Skipper. You asked too goddamn much of the people that loved you, you supreme being, you godlike creature. And so, Skipper and I made love to dream that it was you. Yes, yes, truth, truth. What's so awful about it? I like it. I think the truth is... Yeah, I shouldn't have told you.
It was Skipper who told me, Maggie, not you.
I told you.
After he told me.
What does it matter?
I got your man! Gives me,
Hey, little girl! Little girl!
What, Uncle Brick?
Go on and tell the folks to come up. Bring everybody upstairs.
I can't stop myself. I would go on telling you this in front of them all if I had to.
Little girl, go on. Go on, little girl. Do what I told you. Call them.
Because it's got to be told, and you never let me. It was one of those beautiful, ideal things they tell you about in the Greek legends. It couldn't be anything else. You being you. And that's what made it so sad. That's what made it so awful, because it was love that never could be carried through to anything satisfying or even talked about plainly.
Maggie, you have got to stop this.
Rick, I tell you, you've got to believe me. I do understand all about it. I think it was noble. Can't you see I'm being sincere when I say I respect it? The only point I'm making is that life has got to be allowed to continue even after the dream of life is all over.
You want me to hit you with this crutch? Don't you know that I could kill you with this crutch?
Good Lord, you think I'd care if you did?
One man has one great, good, true thing in his life. One thing that is true. I had friendship with Skipper, and you are naming it dirty.
I'm not naming it dirty. I am naming it clean.
Not love with you, Maggie. But friendship with Skipper was that one true thing, and you are naming it dirty.
Then you haven't been listening, not understood what I'm saying. I am naming it so damn clean, it killed poor Skipper. You two had something that had to be kept on ice, incorruptible, yes, and death was the only ice box where you could keep it.
I married you, Maggie. Why would I have married you?
Brick, let me finish. I know, believe me, I know that it was only Skipper that carried even an unconscious desire for anything not perfectly pure between you two. Now let me skip a little. You married me early that summer. We graduated out of Ole Miss, and we were happy together, weren't we? Yes, we were blissful. Hit heaven together every time that we loved. That fall, you and Skipper turned down wonderful offers of jobs to keep on being football heroes, pro football heroes. You organized the Dixie Stars that fall so you could keep on being teammates forever. But something wasn't right with it, me included, between you. Skipper started hitting the bottle, and you got that spinal cord injury. Couldn't play the Thanksgiving game in Chicago. Had to watch it on TV from a traction bed in Toledo. I joined Skipper, and the Dixie Stars lost because poor Skipper was drunk. We drank together that night. All night in the bar of the Blackstone. And when cold day was coming up over the lake and we were coming out drunk to take a dizzy look at it, I said to Skipper, "Stop loving my husband, or tell him he has got to let you admit it to him one way or the other." He slapped me hard across the mouth and then turned and ran without stopping once, I am sure, all the way back into his room at the Blackstone. And when I came to his room late that night with a little scratch, like a shy little mouse at his door, that's when he made that pitiful, ineffectual attempt to prove that what I had said wasn't true. In this way, I destroyed poor Skipper by telling him truths that he and his world that he was born and raised in, yours and his world, had told him could not be told. And from then on, Skipper was nothing but a receptacle for liquor and drugs. Who shot Cock Robin? I, with my merciful arrow. Missed me. Sorry, look, I am not trying to whitewash my behavior. I'm no good. I don't know why people have to pretend to be good. Nobody's good. Well, the rich or the well-to-do can afford to respect moral patterns, conventional moral patterns, but I could never afford to. Brick, Skipper is dead. I am alive. Maggie the cat is alive. I'm alive. Ah!
Bang, bang,
should teach you to knock before entering a room, otherwise people might think you lack good breeding.
What is Uncle Brick doing on the floor?
Oh, I tried to kill your Aunt Maggie and I failed. Little girl, will you pass me that crutch so I can get up off this floor?
Yes, give your uncle his crutch. He's a cripple. He broke his ankle jumping hurdles on the high school athletic field.
What were you doing in class for, Uncle Brick?
Well, I used to jump them.
People like to do what they used to do long after they stop being able to do it.
There, you have your answer. Now go away, little girls.
Bang, bang, bang! Bang, bang, bang!
Stop that, you monsters! You little no-neck monsters!
You're just jealous because you can't have babies.
You see? They gloat over us being childless even in front of those little no-neck monsters. Brick, I have been to a doctor in Memphis, a gynecologist. I have been completely exempt, and there's no reason why we can't have a child whenever we want one. And this is my time by the calendar to conceive. Are you listening to me, are you? Are you listening to me?
Yes, I hear you, Maggie. But how on the hell on earth do you imagine you're gonna have a child by the man who cannot stand you?
Well, that is a problem I will have to work out.
Come on, Big Daddy, we're all going up to Brick's room.
Here they come.